Evening all. Welcome to another King's Crusher ICC Banter Blitz. Okay, so I hope you all are doing well. I'm just going to check the preview over here. I'm going to say hi all. Okay. No immediate challenge with oh, there is a challenge. Kronos, hello. Okay, I'll kick off with E4. I hope everything's okay. Audio, video, okay. Let's try and play knight f3 here. I'll play this anti-Svechnikov line, bishop b5. I'll try and build the center. So this classic pawn duo in the center. Yeah, I think e5 looks plausible. On the other hand, ed has got something going for it, for the check. It's a bishop e7. I'm not entirely sure though what. Possibly, actually, yeah, possibly this is dangerous here, because I'm wanting to take and then take on d5. He's interrupted that d5 pawn here with this bishop d7. So I'm wondering this little subtlety that d5 is a little bit more sensitive than usual maybe. So I'm wondering ed, bishop g5, bishop e7, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6. Maybe I could even throw in a check there to get the bishop to go back, and then knight takes d5. This looks dangerous, this opening of the center here. A little bit dangerous. Yeah, I'm glad I considered this. Sort of e5. I think e5 maybe was letting black off a little bit. In some ways this is a bit pedantic about the king in the center, but yeah, it's just that bishop d7 seems a little bit awkward here with the king in the center. I've got him thinking here, it seems. I'll just check my recording levels. I'm hoping they're high, by the way. Yeah, it looks okay. If you could let me know if the volume is okay over there. Okay. Right. So I'm looking forward to this. If this is a good position. If this is a good position. Okay.
Check.
Trying to check. And then this. Oh. Okay. Now I can put more pressure on c6 in this case. Can I not? Now I'm changing the track here because he's really neutralized this e file and defended d5. But the weakness of the last move, logically, must be c6 now. So maybe I can play actually bishop f4 might be possible. Bishop d6 is possible. It doesn't have to take to allow bishop c6, but bishop d6 is possible. With the queen there though, can I not play that takes and knight d5? Yeah, that looks dangerous. Knight e5 also looks dangerous, but I think I'm preferring this just to try and play for knight d5. That would be with tempo. So bishop e7. Can I not just take here and then take on d5? No, he stopped knight d5. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's go here then. I'm wondering if I haven't got knight d5 here, have I? Not yet. Is he going to try and make use of the G file? Let's see, this G file. Right. Maybe I can keep my options open. Let's see. Or knight e2 is an immediate thing to consider. Yeah, I think I'll consider knight e2. I mean, that also gives me knight g3 in case there's like something dangerous there. Okay, can I play knight g3 anyway? And maybe try and double on this c file, or maybe rook e3 gives me the option of doubling on the e file or c file. Okay, if I can play rook ec3, he's got some pressure on d4. Not yet. That pin knight, the power of the pin piece is illusionary, is a famous quotation. In fact, here I've got knight e5 check. Haven't I?
Check.
Just winning that rook. Oh, he wants to win my queen. That's clever. I think I can throw in bishop takes c6.
Check.
Because if I get the queen away,
check,
then I can play d takes. In fact, I can probably take the rook first to be absolutely clinical about it. Can I take the rook first? This is the sort of thing you get when you see too much engine post-mortem analysis, ways of just improving and improving what you think is a reasonable move, because it's the computer tendency to aim for
check,
perfection. So I'm going to take this rook as well with check, and then maybe even throw in this check,
check,
and then finally take the queen after. Probably with the rook to avoid f4. And now rook c8 looks
check,
devastating. Bishop takes queen e7 as mate. He is threatening a back row mate, which would be hilarious to allow for my opponents. Can I avoid that somehow? Oh, there's knight f1 anyway. Maybe it wouldn't be the end of the world. In fact, it's something I could actively allow here. Queen c7, I think rook d1, knight f1. Okay, let's actively allow the back row check.
check.
Alright, I think... Thanks for the game. Trivial Pursuit. Trivial Pursuit. Okay. Hi there. Good evening. Trivial Pursuit. I'll try a Sicilian defense with knight c6. It's been the week of the British Championship this week. I've been looking at some British Championship games, by the way. Some inspirational games being played, as well as the Singfield Cup, of course. It's quite an active week for chess this week. I'm going to try and close this H file. If he wants to take, I want to close with G5. Things over here, before things get too scary. Okay. So if I play knight d4, I've seen this system before. It's actually it's very interesting. I'm hoping it doesn't yield too much dynamic potential for my opponents. H5 is scary now if G5 is suppressed. I wonder if I can renew G5 here. So H5, G5, I've just unblocked my queen to try and support G5 here in this position. Try and get into the water now. Okay. Maybe E5 is plausible. Maybe. I hope it is. So bishop g4 looks like a nice hole in white's position to try and exploit. I am concerned about this h5. Okay. 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 I guess queen a5 is out of the question. CD, queen a2. I guess that's out of the question. Knight c3, queen a1. With king c2, knight b3, bishop b3, bishop, king b3, bishop e6. Actually, that looks kind of interesting. Funny enough. Now maybe it shouldn't do, but I'm going to go for it. Oh dear. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm tempted. It's probably a crazy line, yeah? Thanks, Moving Dutchman, about yeah, some Sinkfield Cup games this week are very interesting. This is probably, I don't know if I'm taking too much of a risk with this move. Right, he hasn't gone for it. Can I not attack a2 now? We've got some spice in the position, I think. b3, knight takes, b5 might be logical to try and play b4, try and weaken these dark squares a bit. Let's see. Okay, there's knight b4 here. If a3, or maybe I should just park my queen somewhere for a moment. He's kind of made that concession. I think I'll put the queen back over here. Or maybe even over here to play g5. I've forgotten about his h5 over there. Right, so g5, trying to keep things closed over here. That's one useful. Sometimes it's useful to get the queen back to its original square. There's a famous game of Alexander Anderkine, I remember, where he played the queen just back to d8. Can I use this diagonal for a moment just to interfere with f3? In fact, h6 would be useful. I've just realised h6 would free up my queen. Or does it block in the bishop with f5? Let's put the bishop back as well, just in case. And this knight is looking strong. The snag with taking it, I'll give the e4 square. So things are getting a bit scary. I did want to try a plan of a6 and b5. I'm not sure how viable that is, but okay. In principle, undermining the pawn chain at c4 seems logical here to try and open up that b file and also weaken this diagonal. I'm hoping he hasn't got a knight sack. My queen's still on g5. So things are spicing up in this position, I think. I'll be delighted if he took here. I don't think he will, because it would activate my rook. But I'm going to try and open up the B file, whatever happens. Yeah, let's try and open up this B file. Now, possibly, from a strategic perspective, taking on f3 might be good, because taking knight d4 with tempo, bishop moves somewhere, bishop takes d5, that knight seems much stronger than that bishop. Yeah, this knight and bishop scenario, I believe, is very favourable for me. The downside is I'm giving that e4 square. Could he mate me on that? diagonal. I'm going to take that off because it's depriving my pieces of squares. Now, can I try putting some pressure on the B file? Trebling would be fun. Queen B6. Treble. And if B3, knight B3 maybe? That would seem to crash through. I'm going to try this. Hope it's not too slow. The F file's a bit dangerous though. Hold on, can I use this A pawn to batter down the B file? I'm just concerned if I use this defense, my F file might be a bit weaker. That knight looks really good here. Oh, he's got G6. This is the kind of danger I got to watch out for. He's got G6. So F5, F takes, A takes. I think I'd rather close this as priority than lose that pawn, lose a pawn there, because I am taking on B3. Alright, I think losing that pawn is not such a big deal. Famous last words.
Check.
Go here. If I played a check.
Check.
Oh, time. Thank you. J Russell 2. I think Rook B3 in the final position. It's looking good for Rook A3. Alright, J Russell 2. I'll play E4. And the King's Gambit. Let's spice things up and wake everyone up with the King's Gambit. He hasn't accepted that. Okay, Bishop C4. I've been looking at games in the 19th century as well as recent games. King's Gambit was all the rage. Let's make sure I'm not losing this light square bishop. So there's a King's Gambit declined. Now knight D4, Queen F2. I'm thinking knight G4, but then takes and I'm covering H4. But this is sensitive, this diagonal. Knight E4, knight takes, I'm covering with G3 at minimum. So I think, all in all, I think it's safe enough to play Queen F2. All in all, I hope it's safe enough. With my king still in the centre, I don't want to be pinned. Okay. E takes. Might be not that wise. I was just thinking there might be a fork, but not here. Let's drive. Oh, okay. I'm protecting C2 for a moment. I think ideally I want to play. Ideally, okay. Let's take here. Knight D1 to E3, then probably G4, G5, that sort of thing. C2's under fire here. Got to protect C2. Bishop D2, Knight C2, Rook C1. I'm hoping he doesn't have any naughty business there. Can I do this G? I've just dropped a pawn, haven't I? Never mind. I can play G5 and F6, I hope, or Knight D5 with tempo. Mind you, he's got Bishop C5. This Knight E7 at the end of things. D takes, Knight takes. It's getting a bit scary, I gotta admit. So I'll try and blunt that. It's kind of a pawn sack here that I've done.
Check.
Okay, can I play King H1? Oh, he's got Queen F5. That got nasty quickly. because queen h3 is mating. So what about king g2 instead? If bishop takes, queen takes, queen takes, there's knight e7 check. So I think king g2 is an important nuance. So well actually, oh okay, it's interesting. Knight e7 here I don't think is that effective. Allowing queen c2, yeah, it looks scary. Rook f2, maybe though. So the immediate threat's knight e7, whether he takes here or not. Queen c2,
check.
Okay, yeah, is the more dangerous one. Queen d3, I take the knight. Queen going back to c6, there's knight e7 check. c8, there's knight e7 check. Knight e7 check.
Check.
They got a bit tactical this game. Thanks for the game. Bishop mate. How do I spice things up in the opening here? c5 is quite an energetic idea generally, and not using the d pawn necessarily that quickly. Okay, I'm going to take that and use the d pawn to fix my target. I think I'm remembering a Kaz-Fischer game, Keres-Fischer, where Fischer did play like this against the London system. I know this is not a London system, but he did try and put pressure on the diagonal later with knight e4 to put pressure on the fixed pawn, which he had fixed with d5, not d6. Even here, I think this is maybe a bit dodgy. Maybe a bit dodgy. Nevertheless. Let's see this position. What's going on here? Is it just fizzling out? It could be. Yeah, I'm going to try and avoid the exchange of queens, at least. I'm not sure I'm any worse, but it doesn't seem... Okay, I need to somehow get some dynamic possibility. I hope I can. Bishop h3 to start off with. Bishop f6 here. Or this. Maybe this. I want to be able to move the bishop at some point. I wonder if I can play b5 here for bishop b7 and queen c6. This would be a nice use of these light squares if I can get it. Let's see. Where does the queen go? If I play queen c6 here, f3 seems an awkward move to have to play. I can drop the bishop back here to threaten bishop e6, or maybe d6 is more flexible. It's probably, yeah, well, yeah. I can play bishop f8 if needed, but queen d4, bishop c5 pins the queen. Bishop c7, well, either, really, I don't think it matters. I can pin that queen before I get mated on g7. Thanks for the game, Bishop mate. Okay, any more challenges at the moment? Dreaded auto pairing. The auto pairing is like one of the toughest auto pairings I think in the world online. I think I probably made it easier from last week because I took a bit of a bashing last week. Probably lost a bit on the auto pairing. So I'm hoping it'll be slightly easier. Let's see on the 3-minute auto pairing. Sometimes it gets slightly easier. Well, a 5-minute auto pairing. Or 45-minute with 40. We could just do one game, 45 minutes with 45-second increment. I could try. I'll try the 5-minute as well. Okay, that's a bit quicker. Plop. Let's try Tarish defense. I'm inspired by Wesley So game where he played Bishop E3. It was his revenge game. It was Kobe, and I was reviewing it today. He sort of managed to castle queenside, a little bit like this. I'm hoping. Let's not let that go. Looks too dodgy to let it go. I don't know. I'm not sure. Although F3 looks dodgy in its own right as well. I'm hoping for Queen C2 and Castle Queenside. I just wasn't convinced that I could play Queen C2 there. Bishop G2, Rook G1, Bishop F3 for example. So I'm hoping here this is okay. If I can castle queenside. I'll do this. Yeah, it's putting me off casting queenside really. He's well and truly put me off casting queenside. This is not what I wanted really. Okay, can I play Queen F2 to try and relieve this pressure? Looks like he's got active pieces, unfortunately. Pretty active. I bet he's not displeased with this position. So definitely casting queenside's out of the question. If I castle at knight e4 later. Intriguing. I'm hoping it's e5 is not that effective. I think I just dropped the bishop back. I was playing for e5 here to win the bishop. Can I drop the bishop back? Or just play rook d1 maybe. Let's play rook. I'm thinking I can play rook d1. So e5, I can hopefully I can just drop the bishop back. Let's see if he castles. Can I castle without getting terminated? Just castle kingside. Is he playing h5, h4? He might be. I think knight e4. Then let's see. Say castles queenside. If I castle, let's run through a scenario. h5. Oh, he's interfering on my rook. Okay. Oh, he's got bishop f4. Maybe bishop e3, I hope. Bishop e3 in case of bishop f4. Quite adventurous play. So neither of us has castled yet. I'm on the defensive. Can I play knight e4 here? Has he got bishop h2? Maybe he's got bishop h2. Right. Right, if I take on f4 just to relieve some pressure. You have knight e4 later. I think I can play f takes without losing material. I'm hoping I'm not losing material. If I can castle. Knight e4, not bishop e4, rook d2, but f takes. And I'm hoping I'm still in the game. Hoping. Knight takes, pawn takes. I have to take with the pawn. Take the bishop, I lose the rook.
Check.
Can I take with the king and go to e3? Bishop b5 is possible. c4, bishop c4, rook c1 with b3 to follow. I'm on the defensive. He can double. I've got to prepare for bishop b5. Can I get rid of everything with bishop c4? I'm not sure if I have any advantage. I just want to be in the game still. Alright, I got a 3-2 pawn majority. Pawns on. Get the pawns on. Get the pawns going, I think. Place pawns on dark squares here. Probe. If I take bishop h7, it's got bishop d7. I don't want to allow bishop f7 losing c4 in a hurry. What about h4 for a moment? Is that safe enough? Let's put this bishop back. Oh, I think c5. Let's see if he repeats. I think c5 was an opportunity. Keeping the king out. Can I get my king over? If I can get my king over. He hasn't got an entry just yet. Well, he would after f4. Maybe I should take. Yeah, it's a bit worrying. But f4's worrying. F4's worrying. He hasn't got that much time to finish me if he's winning this. It's not that much time. I don't want this entry point allowed. Let's go here. Pawns on dark squares away from the bishop. Oh, he's got an entry point. What have I done? Blockade? Try and blockade?
Check.
Play for c6. Let's take.
Check. Check. Check.
.6 of a second. I won on time by 0.6 of a second. I thought it was ages up. Yes. Oh, that was some game, huh? Midnight Owl. Have we played Midnight Owl? I'm not sure we have. Let's play Midnight Owl. So, if you just used up my last 0.6 of a second, that would have been a draw by insufficient material. Is Midnight Owl ready? Let's abort this. I don't think he's ready. Okay, let's go on the trying to 3 minute. Auto pairing. I could get that. So I'm trying to play to have a dynamic, aggressive sort of position. Yes, I was wondering about his knight e1 if you do something like that. Yeah, probably go back. I don't want to use up the c7 square. I want this knight there. Wow, really? Already? Alright. Can I at least stop b5 for a moment? Oh, it's getting nasty. Has he got a real pass pawn already? Has he really got already a real pass pawn? Maybe I haven't played this right. Knight e6 to d4 maybe coming up. Yeah, I need to somehow, maybe e6 d5 is better to try and blunt his protection of this c6 pawn. Yeah, I'm wondering e6 d5, which weakens c5, but if I can blunt that bishop, that would be something. Or is that me? No, it's not. He's going to have c7 if I play e6 and win the exchange. If I take and take on a4, he's got queen b6. So these are difficult decisions. Maybe e6, knight b6, rook a6. Maybe. Possibly. Not entirely convinced. Knight b6, rook a6, knight d7. He hasn't got knight d7 yet. Can I do this? I've got d7 covered. Alright, try and blunt this bishop. c5 is hanging. Yeah, I'm on d2 potentially. I don't want to be too far behind on the clock. On d2 there. Maybe f5 and knight d5. Okay, knight d5 immediately. I'm going to lose. That pawn's a goner, isn't it? Okay, doesn't look too hot. Ah, I think he's winning the exchange. Or worse, he's just winning an entire rook there. That's brutal. Yeah, that's totally gone. That's a Benko Gambit crushed, I'm afraid. That's totally gone. Parallax. Challenge from Parallax. We haven't played Parallax this evening yet. I'll take and can I play this? Bishop d2. Oh, maybe castle queenside. Let's see. Right, this looks like something to do. h5, g6. Or maybe knight e4 coming up. Bishop b3. Ah. Alright, I'll still go for it over here for a moment. Knight e4. Actually, yeah. He wants to simplify. Okay. If I do this. So I'll play g6 potentially. Bishop b3 and c4 might be interesting. Bishop b3 and c4. Okay, let's just put the bishop maybe. Well, I might take. Actually, because b4 is looking good there. Can I do knight c5? Maybe this is better with that knight. Maybe knight a2 to b4. Mind you, he's got the c4 square. Yeah, you can go knight b6 to c4. Alright, if I move my king to the centre, actually f4 might be handy as well for f5. Knight c4, rook e2. Maybe try and play for f5 to undermine d5. Or even g6 needs some consideration. But I have got certain pressure on light squares here. G6. G6. F5 now. Try and break down this pawn chain with knight d5. I'm threatening knight e7 check now. Let's imagine rook e8. Does g takes do anything? Probably not. It would be nice to be able to double the rooks actually on that e-file. This rook's not that flexible on h4. Also an observation here, rook e8 and he takes on b2. So there's another observation there. Rook e8 takes and h6 would be interesting for knight f6, trying to undermine the f6 square. Aha, this opens up the h file. Actually, knight e7 check as previously mentioned. Haven't I got rook h8? It's a bit cheeky. Knight e7's winning the exchange there. But rook h8, if he did play this, I was just wondering if knight e7 is forcing checkmate. So that's a bit of a naughty trap to play, where knight e7 clearly wins the exchange, but he has got a few pawns over here. Check, knight e7, g5 rook h2 mate, king h7 rook h2 mate, knight e3 I had to take, and I'm still mating on the same pattern. G5 rook h2 mate, knight b2. Yeah, this is. I'm going to play this very naughty. In fact, it's not that naughty. Rook e7 is checkmate. It's not even a trap. Rook h8, king f7, rook e7 is checkmate. King takes h8, knight e7 seems to be a mating net pattern of rook and knight. I don't know what it's called offhand, but it does seem to be checkmate next move, unless I'm totally miscalculating this. Rook h8, king takes, knight e7 surely is mating with rook h2 after.
Check.
King f7, rook e7, king h8, knight e7, taking that escape square, g8, for rook h2 to be made. Got him thinking. Is this resigned? Oh man, I really wanted that on the board. Let's have a look at that on the board. I really wanted to see it. If here rook e7 is checkmate. Let's confirm it. Knight e7. Let's turn on the analysis here. It does say mate in 4, knight e7. Yeah,
check.
It is a mate. It is a mate. It's just doing this.
Checkmate.
Cool, I'm glad to find that one. Let's go on the 3-minute multiplying again. Hoffman, GM. Let's play E3. Trying to avoid some opening theory with it. Try try and keep solid rather than d5 might be a bit too much. Alright, I'll try and stop the pin with that h3. Preparing some e-file pressure. Let's do this. Let's try and call the bishop back, maybe on a6. Okay, can I do this for some e-file pressure? He's going to take on f3. I'll get rid of that from the firing line. Maybe take some knight d7 supported here. Actually. Alright, queen e2 supports b2 for a moment, but drops d4. So if I took on bishop b3, I drop d4. If I play bishop f6, I can play knight d7 after. Knight b2. I'm going to move something. Oh, I was going to lose some time. I don't necessarily have to play bishop b3. I've got to move here. Maybe the bishop here. If I can play bishop b3 first, that's a nice diagonal for the bishop. If he takes, I can take and protect g2. If he takes on c3, then I might have to play f3 if he plays queen d5. I've just lost the bishop, haven't I? So that was the end of this game. Oh man, oh, what a moron. Oh, I'm such a moron. Oh. Okay, let's play on for a little bit. Oh, damn it, I mean it's futile though. He's going to just play rook g2. He's going to take and rook g2, end of game. Rook g2, end of game. Oh, I thought it was anyway. Okay. You can still play it here. Okay. Rook h5, there's queen g7. He's still got rook g2 here now. Okay, let's just defend that for a moment. It's pretty hopeless a piece down, actually. I don't know, catastrophe, I'm afraid. Maybe I can get someone easier on the auto pairing that I can beat. Let's try auto pairing again. Okay. This looks like a comfortable position so far. I've had this sort of position before a few times. If he castles, maybe e5, this looks loose, this d7 bishop looks loose. I can probably take on d7 if this file opens up. Yeah, this looks interesting. I'll take on d6. Right, I think I've got a bit of pressure here. Queen d3 looks handy for an immediate, just trying to win a piece. Yeah, I think I'll play it here actually. If takes knight g5 threatens mate as well as the knight. Knight f5, maybe there's g4 there. And there's battery. These dark squares must do something at some point, surely, for me. Like queen h3, threaten the mate again. And well, there's rook d8 here. That looks useful. Actually, I'm threatening rook c8 there. My first thought was rook e8 for knight f6, but actually maybe I'll just take on c8. It's quite an invasive move, rook d8. Don't usually do such an invasive move. If I took knight takes, let's imagine check, king g7. I don't want to lose on time, particularly. What about just doing this
Check.
for knight h5? Just taking in knight h5. Pin and win. Although I'm not sure what concrete threat I've got. Knight e4, maybe knight e4. Try and pin over one of these knights to the king. Is that not happening? Bishop e6. Knight e6. Pin again.
Check.
It's yielded some interest. Things change up now. Well, we haven't played Desmetanov today. Okay. Hi, Desmetanov. Okay, Desmetanov. One, two, three. Hi there. You ready? Okay, I think I might have to have bought this. I'm not sure if he's ready. Cap Red we haven't played tonight, I think. Try and play Sicilian actually. Or reverse, whatever this is. Reverse. Was it Lima or something? Reverse Bishop b5 Sicilian. try and trap this knight, I think. Although I'm weakening my dark squares. I'm going to get this off the diagonal. Maybe d5. To be able to play d4. Right, intriguing position. Okay, nasty pin there. Knight d4 maybe. Just about. This looks okay because I'm hitting the rook. Knight e2 check seems to win the queen.
Check.
Queen f3 looks good as well. I'll take the queen, I think. I think if it takes queen f3 is winning that rook. I'll centralise, get the rook out of the firing line. Queen f3 looks crushing here. It did. Okay, f6 for a moment. Alright, if I play knight c3 here. You get tempo.
Check.
And take the bishop. Okay. This looks pretty promising. As promising goes. That's not to say I can't find a way of messing things up totally. Rook f8's Alright, if I can take this pawn, that should be okay if I can take that pawn, I imagine.
Check.
I don't think it's stalemate. Not yet. When's the game? Clownfish. 2491. Okay. Gotta pay attention. Can I play c6 and d5 just to try and blunt this bishop? Oh, he's playing a pawn sack, okay. He's trying to tear open the position. Wondering if I can play bishop e7 coming up. Bishop g5, bishop e7, ed, queen d6, knight e4, queen c7. Okay. Knight e4, what does it do after? Does it play knight g5 after? Can I try and castle queenside? Maybe casting is okay. I got that f4 square coming up. If I castle the knight f4 later. Doesn't seem entirely bad. If I've got knight f4 coming up. Knight g5, knight f4. Let's use this for queen h5. Knight g5, h6, queen h5. Knight f4 hits the queen. Let's play knight f4 here. I like this outpost on Sicilian file. Play b6 at some point. Bishop d7, rook a8. I'll be happy to connect the rooks. Can I do this? Right. b5 here. Is he actually taking on d5? He would open up my bishop if he did that. Maybe I'd take the pawn just to open up the bishop, position E. Actually, what's wrong with I was just wondering about c5. I'll take on a4. First I'll play c5. Takes. There's bishop b7 after. That looks dangerous. I'm going to go with this because it seems quite dynamic aggressive. If I lose that pawn with bishop b7, it looks a little bit dynamic aggressive. I could be imagining that. I mean, it could be true. I don't know. Isn't there c4 anyway? He just takes that pawn. Okay, bishop b7 was. I was thinking this is interesting. Across to g2 potentially. In fact, knight g2 might be an immediate threat. For knight e3 winning the queen. Yeah. Let's see. This is looking a little bit iffy, I hope, for him. Let's imagine queen g4. Rook f5. Bishop d5, bishop d5. I think rook f5 might be okay. Well, knight d5 is not to lose the knight. Can I do this? Oh, he's got takes and then queen f5. I've got to be careful. What about getting the king off the diagonal for a moment? Wow. c4, what does c4 do? Does it do anything? If I take on d3, I'm taking on d3 might be interesting forcing moves. Yeah. Maybe knight f6 and no, I can't play queen c6. Knight b4. Okay, rook f5 around here looks interesting. It is a forcing move of sorts, which doesn't seem to lose immediately. Hits the knight, I can double the rooks with that. It's useful to double the rooks. Couldn't I have just taken his knight? Just then. Oh, his knight was hanging. What a moron. His knight, I was just saying that. His knight was hanging. He didn't protect his knight. Okay. Ah, idiots. Maybe knight before rook e6, rook f2. He's got bishop e6 there. Rook f6. Maybe. I want to play knight c6 and queen c6. There's knight d3 here, rook e8, knight e1. Maybe knight d3 is worth it. There's knight f2. Hang on, there's knight f2. Okay, rook e8, knight e1. Rook moves knight f2. Rook f1. Rook f1. Try and put some pressure on f2 with queen b6. If he lets me play queen b6, I'm on f2 again. He'd probably take that pawn. What's the threat? What's the threat? I'm just wondering what the threat is. Can I do this? My threatening mate. That seems pretty awkward to try and defend, unfortunately.
Time warning.
Oh no. I can't defend that. Can I? I thought it was just mating with queen h4. What has he done?
Check. 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 Check.
Oh. Ah, man, 0.6 of a second. I should have taken this. Oh, man. He missed mating, I think, with queen h4 anyway. But earlier, yeah, there was a piece hanging. Okay, it's just blitz. It's just blitz. It's just blitz. It's just blitz. 3-minute auto parry. You may be wondering why I'm shaking my head. It's not because of this position. Okay. You might be wondering if I can recover ever in this session. That is a good question. That is a good question. I must admit that is a very, very good question. If it is actually possible to recover from such a game and just carry on to a new game. I'm hoping it is possible. Can I take on b3 and d4? Right, he's giving up a piece. This is good news, right? In fact, I could take here first to improve things.
Check.
I'm not crying inside,
Check.
honest. I'm not crying inside. No, I'm not crying inside. Oh man, oh man. Oh jeez.
Check.
Oh. Oh. Excuse the noises. I think it's good stress relief. Excuse the noises. Okay. Alright, let's go here for Queen F3. Right, he's gonna try and mate me. Let's try and stop that, basically, and save the exchange at the same time. So I'm on F3 here, yeah? Right, I've got Bishop H3 here.
Check.
And Knight E2.
Check.
And taking this Rook. And then Queen G2 mate. Thanks for the game. Okay, that's good to win a game. Okay, Manchester is red. Excuse the groaning throughout the rest of the session. Okay, no, okay, I'm fine. Okay. This looks okay-ish, doesn't it? Maybe not. Have I got significant structural damage here? Is that the problem? If I can get to play F5, it doesn't look at all bad to me. He's just picked on one of my innocent double pawns, so does it matter that he's 1 C7? Can I not stretch out over here? Crush this bishop? Oh, maybe I should have played F4. Do this, protect the bishop. Oh, come off it! No, knight. I thought I'd missed winning a piece again. Yeah, I was now threatening knight e3 and rook d2. Right, so knight f4 looks dangerous, right? Because I've got knight d3 forking the rook and bishop. This looks like an ideal position so far. I can't imagine asking for a better position. This looks good. Octopus Knight is all my dreams and hopes. One of my favourite games, Kasparov Gambit, Octopus Knight on d3. I'm going to get an Octopus Knight here. Can't ask for more than that. Maybe a form pawn as well. Give me a form pawn as well. That'd be good. Have a form pawn. THORN. Fawn pawn coming up as well. Has he got a nasty pin or something? Can I not play bishop h6? Oh, there's knight e5. Let's guard knight e5 for a moment. I want to play bishop h6 as well. Maybe with the fawn pawn there, I'm thinking his back row should be orders of magnitude weaker with that fawn pawn. So in other words, there should be some tactical opportunity coming up. Which I can't see at the moment. What about f4? That looks good. f4. We're taking his bishop first and then f4. And he's got knight g4 check after. Okay. Let's just do this. Isolate the pawn there. Then worry about things later. Okay. Can I fix down this b file? Maybe c5? Is he really going to sack the exchange? I assume he's sacking the exchange now. I assume. Otherwise he's going to get positionally massacred if he doesn't. Oh no! Are you kidding me?
Check.
Have I let him off? How much have I let him off? Is there going to be bishop f6 at this rate? I've got to make sure bishop f6 doesn't happen. Okay, he's aiming for bishop f6. Alright, light square.
Check.
Oh no.
Check. 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 Time warn.
19 seconds.
Check.
Second rank.
Check.
Please.
Check. 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 Check.
Got him! Got him! That's quite a high rating for the auto pairing, by the way. That's an auto pairing rating. He's been up to 2393. That's a high 3-minute auto pairing. Okay. Okay. Alright, went up 11 points, 2173 to that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, so another 3-minute or a 5-minute. We could do a 5-minute auto pairing. 5-minute or a 3-minute. What do you guys think of that? That was cool, yeah. Or not? I thought that was a good game. Anyway. Okay. I mean, it was a reasonable game. I kind of let him off a bit, but you know. Okay, so 3-minute auto pairing. Let's go 3-minute auto pairing. Let's go. Try King's Gambit. Let's move this. Interesting, f5. Okay, if I castle and I'll take him then. Okay, c3, bishop e3, maybe g4, g5 later. Bishop e3, queen d2. Or hang on, that thing's got knight d5 there, so hold the horses on that. Bishop e3. Is he going to exchange off the light square bishop? Okay. Maybe put the knight on e3. That would be a nice maneuver. Either way, stop c4 back over here to blockade with knight e3. That's a nice blockade square in a way. He's got a certain amount of pressure. Yeah. I'll try and blunt this b file because I want to play b3 and bishop b2 without losing a pawn. So I'm wondering if I can do this b3 bishop b2. I'll end up losing a pawn. I think I should take. Unfortunately, it's putting me under great pressure. Right, b3 here. Do I leave the tell? b3 there. d4, there's bishop a3, isn't there? No, yeah, if he's not hitting the knight. But otherwise, bishop a3, queen e3, bishop e7. Can I improve on things there? Ah. Okay. Okay. I'll do it here. Take this guy off and blockade on d4. This looks okay if I can get the c file. If I can get this c file, it looks like a juicy position almost positionally. Okay, hold on a sec. I'll let him have b3. I just want to get on with things without hassling about this pawn. If I can get that c file, if I can get a rook to c7. Let him have the pawn. If I have a rook on c7, this should be fairly dangerous. In fact, concretely, queen at e7. So if he takes here, okay, I'm looking forward to a 7th rank attack. Okay, sort out the king here. Oh no, he's challenging my blockade. If I take a knight c2, is that plausible? Rook c3, knight d4, d4, knight d4, rook c1, no. We've got rook d4, nope, he's got d4 there. F5 to start off with. Gotta somehow keep the blockade. What about a5 for a6? He's really just won my pawn. That's not very nice. I get a nice blockade though. Yeah, there's not much time there. That was a 3-minute auto pairing. Oscar Wilde. Try the Albin counter Gambit or not. Right, quick bishop d6 or a Dutch stonewall transition. Maybe with knight c6. I've seen Magnus Carlsen play with knight c6. This kind of setup. Not this identical setup. I don't think you can take that without bishop g3 hitting the knight, so I think this is okay at the moment. A6, G5, F4, that sort of thing. A6, let's play A6. Right, if I take on G3, then I can take on E5. I can take on E5, I can take D5. Seems to be a pawn. I can play C6 later. Okay, that does seem to be a good pawn to have. I can play Queen B6 almost. Maybe B5 soon. Maybe protect this and then D4 is threatened. Rook F6 is one way to try and threaten mate as well as protect E6 and play D4. But this one, what about B5 for a moment? For a moment, B5. Then Queen D7 protects C6. And it gets a blockade. I go back to D7. Am I threatening potentially move the king out C5 without the check? So king H8 and then C5 if that's ever happening. Right, can I threaten? I don't think there's a liability just yet. My rook's protected by the bishop. I'm hoping C5 is possible as Queen D5. Oh no. What have I done or allowed? I have to try and liberate here. Maybe F4. Takes F4, try and spark up some dart square action. Why is that not happening? Alright. Sort out the back row. It does give me rook d1 and then king h7.
Check.
Right. Right. Try and weaken him on the dart squares. Right. going to make me over here if I'm not careful. That pawn's immune because of bishop e5. Bishop d3 is waiting for, is he? Is it a2 pawn? I'm going to push him to the limits. Is there any limits to push? h3? Nope. Actually, this looks remarkably as if I should give a draw here. Unless there's anything... Okay, I'm going to offer a draw. Good sportsman. I did offer a draw. Okay. You forfeited. I did offer a draw. Okay, your witnesses after the draw. Yeah. I feel less bad after the draw. He ran out of time. It's a drawn position. It's a fortress. Okay, it was a 3-minute auto pairing, by the way. It was a 3-minute auto pairing. But yeah, oh, wow. No, fortress. It looks pretty. Let's just make 100% sure. It looks pretty fortressy to me. Okay, 3-minute auto pairing. Right, let's try English opening. I don't mind this for a quick d4. Sometimes this could be good fun. I go here, I think. There's a sort of trap line if I'm not careful. Maybe I've already gone into it. That seems okay. Bishop b2, knight a4 to c5. Rook c1, knight a4 to c5. Just trying to open up this bishop. I'm not sure if he takes if I'm getting mated or not. Maybe h3 and use the G file, possibly. Possibly. Oh, he's going to try and bust open the G file quite rapidly. Oh, he's already coming in for the kill over there. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I got f4. Does that help?
Check.
e4's covered at the moment with the knight. I have a bad suspicion about my G file here. Queen d1, got to avoid rook g1 mating. There is potentially knight e6. Rook g2 is probably threatening rook h2 and queen g2 mating. Can I do anything about that? He's actually hitting the bishop there. Wondering if fucking scary. As in scary lost. Rook h2 for queen g2, mate. Yeah. This doesn't look as though there's many options to think about.
Check.
I've just been mated. Oh, this is diabolical. It's just diabolical. Oh, okay. Oh, another GM. Okay, the lower rated one. Oh, Smith Mora. I might have a chance here in the Smith Mora. Although this isn't exactly dynamic, this position, it's got to be said. This is almost passive. Well, he's got me playing this. Nevertheless, maybe there's a4. Okay. I'll pin that. Got him thinking. Queen b6, bishop e3. Got him thinking. That's a good sign. Okay. There might be something here. e5 might be dangerous on a good day. e5 might be good on a good day. I can weaken d5 if I can take knight b4 to d5. Even if he took, I'll open up this diagonal. Maybe. Yeah, I'll try and weaken his d5. At least it sort of potentially. Okay, I'm not losing a piece just yet. Am I losing a pawn? Oh, I've just lost this pawn. Any compensation? Trying to avoid back row mate. Knight g5 took rook h4 after. Knight g5 looks okay. Let's get out of the firing line here for a moment. Now he's a bit slow. He's not the fastest. G4 looks almost plausible with King G2 in mind. Right, the knight's protecting the rook, so I'm still playing for G5. G5 for rook e7 coming up. And I'm hoping he hasn't got time to queen his pawn. Immediate queen f7. G6 coming up. Queen d7. What does Queen d7 actually do? Try and slow down the pawn. Knight. No, I can't move the knight. Protect the knight anyway. Because queen g4 looks quite dangerous. Knight d2 for a moment.
Check.
Right, there's knight f6 potentially. If I unpin. Oh. No, this is stuffed as well. This is a stuffed position. Okay. He's just going to take, isn't he? And then a1. Or this? Okay.
Check. Check.
And I'm
Check.
a rook down. Oh, and I'm a rook down. He's just frozen loads of checks. And wins the queen. Oh, I've been brutalised. Again, Benny wins. Benny wins. There's a challenge from Benny wins. Ah. Okay, that rules out the theory. Last week seems hard. This week also seems hard. I think the common thing is the 3-minute auto pairing. In particular. So Benny wins. Can I play d6 here? Because I'm wondering queen e2 and bishop e6. This looks like there might be something nice here after bishop e6 coming my way. A piece? Maybe a piece?
Check.
Okay, I can do better with knight e5 maybe. I hope. Threatening queen f7. d7, knight f7, bishop f4 looks to be mating.
Check.
Might be wrong. It's possible.
Check.
It's checkmate. It is actually checkmate. Okay, Kobayashi. NM. Hi there. Oh, not this. Okay, okay. I need to give this Gambit up. This d3 is all the rage. It's just giving that an easy position. Anyway, okay. Aside from that. Okay, I get nothing from the opening. Knight b4, well the king sends a check is available. Knight d4 again, the check. He's got bishop d7, oh, queen takes. So in other words, okay, let's just do this for a moment. Maybe c4. That gives me the c3 square for the knight. I've got this 3-2 pawn majority to start pushing. I can play b4 maybe. Unless there's a piece sack. I'm not sure it's working. I'll play b4 and c5. In fact, there's knight b5 on queen c7. Oh. That is a point. It's complicated everything. Ah, it's complicated everything. That loose piece. Okay. I'll take on B7 here. There's a check I definitely need. Why does it look as though I'm losing a piece here? That's interesting, how it looks like I'm losing a piece. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'll pick up pawn. Bishop. I'll get mated. Bishop e4 is better. Queen a7. There might be two connected pass pawns in the future. This is being very optimistic. I'm just wondering if the queens are off. That other variation looks as though there were tactics on f3, so I think with the queens off here I've got maximum chance. Actually, take the queens off. Although f5 looks remarkably dangerous. Bishop f2, king takes to hold the c1 in case he was tempted. Can I just want maybe bishop c6. Loses that pawn. Right, so the rook behind the pawn. Maybe b6. Running out. Can I get some material back? Maybe there's a little bit of hope here, getting that material back. b6 takes rook b7, might be getting even more material back. So takes rook b7. Hopefully there's a potential for this being good. b6. Oh, rook c5. c5. Okay, let's sort out the back row for a moment. But doesn't that win that bishop? In fact, f4, knight e4. If bishop f5, rook c4. Oh. Wait, okay. Get another pawn. I grab another pawn. Maybe another one. If I have that one as well. This doesn't look very promising. But anyway. It's one pawn for the piece. F4 check?
Check.
Have I just managed to lose another pawn? It's just got king e4. I could be losing the knight. Oh, the knight's been trapped.
Check. Check.
Maybe g6 for
Check.
h6. g6 for h6 has got knight f6. That's not helping matters.
Check.
g6 here. Maybe knight f6.
Check.
Yeah. This hasn't worked out very well, I've got to say. So my best chance, I don't know, try and get rid of his pawns. This we have some miracle save if it works.
Check. Top.
I'm gonna get mated, I think.
Check.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, a 3-minute game. Okay. Bobans. Quick e5. This looks promising. Queen g2, queen h2. Well, I can take on d4. It looks, I don't know, probably crazy, but I'm going to take this. Knight f4. Dang it, that's queen h2. Right, let's try and keep that blockaded. Maybe if I can castle queenside.
Check.
His bishop's hanging here. Castles. Okay, bishop c5. What about knight f2 hits d3 and. Yeah, if I play this. Has he got like something like bishop a6 or something? Yeah. I'll play this. Rook, bishop e7, rook b7, check, rook d7, check, and he's sort of mating. I think I've got to get out of here ASAP. I've lost a minute on the clock there though. there is knight d3 check, yeah, but his queen's protecting f4 at the moment. Still,
check,
bishop f5, let's say e6, f6. There's bishop c5 here. Oh, there's bishop f5. E1. If there's knight E1. Oh, crikey. Queen D1.
check, check,
Oh man, that looks dangerous. Oh, this hasn't been an easy night again. I'm afraid. Okay, let's leave it like that. It's just, I can't, I've had a hard time again. I tried to rest a bit more, but in conclusion, it's been a hard night again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. 1 5 10 boring. It just shows you try the auto pairing, you'll see what it's like for yourself. If you're not convinced, it was tough anyway, and whatever, it was tough. Okay, let's end there. I think. Oh blimey. Maybe I should play 5 minute next time, or 5 minute. I might have better chances on 5 minute at the moment. The 3 minutes not been too hot. Not been too hot. Alright, cheers then. Have a good weekend. And see you next time. Remember to like up the video if you enjoyed it. Okay, thanks so much.